Do we matter? So the cosmic perspective is incompatible with your ego. Okay? All humans share a chemistry, a biology with all other life on Earth. There's one Genesis on this Earth. What is the advice that you wish someone had said to you at 33 that you could give to me now? I have no such advice, and I'll tell you why. If you're alert and you're smart, alert meaning you notice things and you learn. Living life itself is the lesson. This is life experience, and it doesn't come on a bumper stick. You're thinking this is one sentence I could tell you, and then that'll make everything better. No. Learn from your mistakes, because those lessons are greater than someone just telling you to not do it. No one ever told me that I had to search for meaning in life to begin with, so that was never even a part of me. It was I got my life. This is who and what I am. This is what I did in school. These are my dreams, ambitions. How do I create meaning in my life as I go forward? My first question of me wasn't where do I find meaning? It was how do I create meaning? And that started early teens. I recognized long ago that I have the power to manufacture meaning in my life. I can make decisions about my own life that create the meaning. For me, a meaningful life is learning something new tomorrow that I didn't know yesterday. Otherwise, it's a wasted day. You know, the prisoner who puts X's in the boxes on the wall for the day they get out. I have that in my head, and the day that I get out is the day I die. All right? And what these boxes remind you of is every day you're alive, you're one day closer to death. So there's one fewer days in there too. Accomplish something that you might have wanted to accomplish. So one of my measures of meaning is how much more do I know about the world tomorrow than I did yesterday, because almost any path you take will make you wiser as a person. So I value wisdom. That gives meaning to my life. A new perspective. It's not just knowledge, data. Data can become information. Information on further study becomes knowledge. And after enough time, when you see how the knowledge plugs in and applies, it can become wisdom. Wisdom is the distilled essence of all the details. The wisest statements ever spoken to you generally have no detail in them at all, do they? I've heard it said this way: wisdom is what's left over after you've forgotten all the details. It's the distilled essence of it all. So, I want to be wiser on the porch, on my rocking chair. I don't want to be the old communion. In my day, we did it best. No, I don't want to be that guy. No! Spend a little bit of your life lessening the suffering of others. I don't mean redirect your life, some people do. They work in soup kitchens and start not for profits to serve. Yes, I'm not that person. No, because the universe is what calls me. But in my day, in a week, do something that lessens the suffering of someone else. I'm declaring that I try not to ever put opinions out there, but it's my opinion that if you lessen the suffering of others, you make a better world. And don't we all want to live in a better world? If there's some small gesture that I can do that can completely add value to someone's life, I'm going to do it, because the leveraging of 10 minutes of my life into the happiness or enlightenment or the reduced suffering of someone else. I'd be irresponsible if I did not. What is missing from your list of ingredients at the moment? Or what could you have more of that would be? I don't think of life that way. Okay? How do you think of life? Why is that wrong, that question? I didn't say it was wrong. I don't value judge. Okay? It's not what's right or wrong. I don't live life that way, because it means you carry with you the emotions. I could be happier if I were doing this. And how come I'm not? And all of a sudden, well, then I must be miserable if I'm not as happy as I could be. No, I don't measure day to day. Am I happy or not? It's not the measure. Yes, it's in there, but that's not the metric. The metric is, am I successful at what I'm doing? Am I as good at this as I can be? If you're not going to try to improve, go home. Find something else. When I saw that, what I did not serve the needs. I invested a lot of energy so that I could be exactly what they needed, so that their task is simplified and I get better at something that could serve a greater good. I don't want to say that's happiness. I'm going to say that's fulfillment of an objective where I improved in what it is I was doing. We're all very different people, and so meaning ought to be different. If meaning was the same for everyone, you just publish it, everyone reads it, then we all jav. Meaning, no, you got to make it yourself. Some people want to search for it. Fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not searching for meaning. I'm creating meaning in my life because I can control that. Not that it's important to control everything. I like magic as an adult because it reminds me I can still be fooled. Okay? I don't need to know everything. I just need to maintain curiosity. The cosmic perspective shows you how small we are in size, in time, in space. And if you go in with a high ego, you might resist that. You might say, no, I'm important. But I think of it differently. We know one of the greatest gifts of modern astrophysics to civilization, dare I call it a gift, is the knowledge that the atoms of your body are traceable not only to the Big Bang origin of the universe itself, but especially to stars that manufactured those elements and later in their lives on death exploded, scattering that enrichment across gas clouds so that their next generation of stars would have planets and on at least one of those planets life. We are not just figuratively, we are literally stardust. So when you go out and look up at the night sky, yeah, your urge is, I'm small and that's large. And yes, you're alive in this universe, but there's another way to look at it. The universe is alive within you. You have kinship with the cosmos. That feeling to me is greater than any ego you could have possibly walked into the room with. First, that feeling borders on spiritual. Second, third, we have trained ourselves to equate being special with being different. You're special. You do something, think some way that no one else does. So, I'm special. Well, let me turn that on its head and say maybe we're special. Not because we're different, but because we're the same. All humans are stardust. All humans share a chemistry with all the biologies, with all other life on Earth. We live in a very fractured world today. I don't know if it's the most fractured ever, but the First World War, Second World, those were fractured times. So I don't want to claim uniqueness in how fractured we are, but what is clear is that the internet has enabled and social media have enabled people to try. You might go your whole life without ever finding another person who thinks the earth is flat. You go online and you see them all and they have conventions and they meet here, even if it's only virtual. So you have ways to say why you are different from other people. And I don't know that that's always a healthy place to be in a pluralistic land. You want to celebrate differences rather than go out of your way to establish differences and then claim one group is better than another. It is the very motto of the United States. Out of many, one pluribus. You can carry that forward to immigration and the ethnicity, the melting pot of ethnicity.